time in space because you can't go to
I
the
got-
toilet properly.
I got my physics. I'll stop you on your third fucking idiotic point that you've made without allowing anybody to respond. A thermodynamics violation. The actual words that Nathan Oakley uses. Literally getting his physics from a failed actor on YouTube. Pathetic. Why on earth would you believe that idiot, Jin?
Yeah. Ladies and gentlemen, Nathan Oakley is not a failed actor as
Oh, really? What is he then?
Okay,
What is he then?
That's
What's
got
his
nothing
profession?
to do whether he's a failed or an accomplished actor. Has nothing to do with the knowledge he carries. Second point, I don't get my.
Oh, really? What has he done to get this physics knowledge then? Where does that hail from, Jin?
Nathan Oakley hasn't been into this as long as I have, although he's a very learned man, taking nothing away from
where's his learning come
knowledge
from
of
then?
what he discussed.
Where has his learning come from if he's a learned man? What learning does he have, Jin?
So topic matters regarding the sciences.
Is it absolutely none?
I could even
Is it
say that.
absolutely none? Just what Quantum Eraser told him? Is that what it is, Jin? Is that his knowledge of this, his learning? What Quantum Eraser told him to say, and that you're now repeating?
Quantum Eraser, to be exact, and Robert Pisano, to be exact, from the Planetae Veritas. That's where I got the thermodynamics violation from, actually. And Generism, and ODD, and Celebrate Truth. So there were many sources. It's not just Nathan Oakley.
Jordanism, that's the guy who proved the Earth is a globe, right?
You're a liar. ODD and Celebrate Truth have never mentioned thermodynamics violations, not once. You're just bullshitting. You got that directly from Oakley, and he got it from Quantum Eraser. Two idiots on YouTube telling you what physics is. You're not going to find stuff out for yourself, are you? You just repeating what the man on YouTube said because you like the sound of it.
Ladies and gentlemen, because we look into it, and when you look into it, it makes perfect sense. So the idea that we can go to the moon is impossible because of the vacuum of space and outgassing. So believing is not actually knowing, by the way. Just because you believe you can go somewhere doesn't mean you know you can go there. So believing is not the way.
You don't know the difference between believing and knowing because you're another.
Ladies and gentlemen, I know what it is. Remember,
Okay, what's the difference between believing and knowing? Let's hear it, idiot.
Something you don't have to believe it. That's my point. That's my position. So I've stopped believing, and if I don't know something, I'll clearly say I don't know that.
What is the difference? What qualifies something as knowledge as opposed to belief?
Well, as knowledge, of course, you've obviously experienced it, you've touched it, you've ate it.
There you go. You see, Gakushi, that's where this idiocy takes you. So anything you haven't touched or tasted, you now don't know.
No.
Which is almost everything on Earth, isn't it?
What are you talking about? Everything on Earth? What? What do you mean?
I'm talking about almost everything on Earth you haven't touched or tasted or visited. That's what I'm talking about, Jin. So now you don't know about almost everything on Earth.
That's correct, ladies and gentlemen. What is the problem? What is the problem with that?
Well, the problem with that is it means you're a thick cunt who doesn't know anything. You've just argued, I don't know anything. That's your argument. Listen to me, because I don't know anything. Brilliant. Fantastic. Well done, Jin.
If you hear that I say to you, we don't, and I say we as all of us collectively, we do not know what those planets are.
No. You don't get to throw us in with it because we don't subscribe to your absurd epistemology. Only you pretend to subscribe to this absurd epistemology. So don't start telling me about Japanese torpedoes or Hawaii or any other places that you haven't visited or objects that you've never touched or tasted. Don't mention anything like that, Jin.
I am able to go. If I wish to go, I can go. So I haven't been to Australia, but I know.
You see, again, this is where you get really stupid because you say, in order to know that thing exists, I have to visit it. But I can know it exists because I know that I can visit it. Do you see how that is abandoning your first claim? I can't know it exists until I visit it. I know it exists. That's why, because I know that I can visit it. It's completely circular and a complete abandonment of the initial claim that you can't know anything unless you visit it. Now you can know something, but without visiting it, because you just have to know that you can visit it.
Said that time and time and time again. One standard doesn't fit all things, ladies and gentlemen. That's what I've always said.
But this standard contradicts itself.
It doesn't, ladies and gentlemen.
Yes,
it does not at all. It does not in one shape.
Okay. So if you haven't visited something, can you know it exists?
When someone's telling you they can throw a signal,
just answer my question. Just indulge me and answer my question. If you haven't visited something, can you know it exists?
Believe. That's where you're going to have to believe. I don't want to believe that. I want to know that. And my knowledge of radio waves.
All right. Thank you for not having a conversation. I get that it got too challenging for you, that you tied yourself in a knot with your retarded epistemology that even you can't explain. I get it.
To be on the moon with a receiver receiving the laser beam or that signal. Then
he doesn't want it. Notice, Kikuchi. Notice, Kikuchi, how he's completely abandoned all this stuff about how, this is how we know stuff, because he can't make it work, and he knows he can't. Now he just wants to talk about make some proclamations about something else he doesn't fucking know about.
Sorry, certain situations require a certain standard that has to be applied. And in the case of the moon, I am not going to be believing that a piece of equipment can send a signal to that distance and come back. No, that's not, or to the sun for that matter. That's not going to be something I'm going to be believing.
In fairness, though, Jem is right, though. You don't have to visit something to verify that it exists.
That's not what we're doing, though, am I? I'm saying that the signal, what's being claimed, the action
that's specifically what you said you were doing.
Into question, and the distance of said object. So I'm right in what I say.
You said you couldn't know it was a solid object unless you'd visited it. That's what you said.
I'm saying he's right in misrepresenting. He's not right in my position. Was my position is sound,
that is your stated
solid,
position, Jim.
and just.
If I can't touch it, if I can't taste it, if I can't smell it, then I can't verify that it's real.
So now you're disregarding. That some situations require a different standard. Some situations, and that's what I've always said.
You mean
different
every
situations
require
a
that
different
is in
standard.
space or satellites. Every situation.
Ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to stand by what I've said. Different situations will require different standards. So the idea that we can send a signal to the moon and back to be questioned has to be checked and confirmed. The same with the moon. Sorry, the same with the sun at 93 million miles away. That needs to be confirmed. That's the problem we're having here. We can send signals on Earth.
But Jin, NASA says you send a radio signal, it comes back 60 minutes later.
Thousands of miles is fine. Hundreds of thousands, millions of miles, no, ladies and gentlemen. We don't live. We haven't confirmed that we can do that. That's why we have to check it. You're believing without checking is totally ridiculous. This is a situation where a standard has to be established.